Putting people living with dementia at the forefront of decision-making brings a wealth of understanding. The National University of Ireland, Galway, is developing people-centred research and policy frameworks to bring change to the dementia landscape in Ireland. Robin Ross went to Galway to see how this way of reimagining dementia care is making a difference.
Helen is an advocate for people with dementia. In 2012, she was diagnosed with the disease when she was just 57 years old. This very interview is testament to her determination to not give up.
Niamh is here to support me with my promise, because I am not going to remember everything that I want to say to you, but those small promises took me 5 hours to write.
Helen's work takes her all over the world. It involves a lot of planning and a lot of help. It's a far cry from when she was first diagnosed. She gave up her job and quickly became depressed.
There's nothing more difficult in my life than to have to tell my child, to tell my only son, my only child, as he was just embarking on his career, that his mother had Alzheimer's.
It was her involvement in research that brought her hope. Helen works with the Centre for Economic and Social Research on Dementia, CESRD, based at the National University of Ireland in Galway. The vision for the centre is to provide transformative research and policy frameworks that will support people with dementia to carry on living their life in their community. So we think of the person and uphold their rights as a citizen. It's part of the Irish National Dementia Strategy to improve diagnosis, services and combat stigma. One of the biggest problems is when someone's diagnosed with dementia, they become invisible. The aim is to be visible, so they remain part of the community.
I think what we're really trying to change is to make people visible, ensure they're connected to place and people and their friends. And I think the challenge is to make sure our resources are allocated in a way to make that happen.
I was advised to tell everybody, and once I told people, it was like a whole relief. It was just such a relief to tell people that I have Alzheimer's. The post office knows I have Alzheimer's. The bank knows I have Alzheimer's. The local shop knows I have Alzheimer's.
In Ireland, there are estimated to be 55,000 people with dementia, many undiagnosed. In 10 years, it's predicted to be 100,000. In 20 years, the number will be 136,000. A major TV and radio campaign showed people with dementia telling their stories. It struck a chord.
We measured the impact on awareness and understanding, and we could see that there was a 9% of increase in understanding of the disease. But most importantly as well, we could see that people were more empathetic towards a person with dementia and actually wanted to take some actions to support people to stay included and supported in their communities.
Helen works with Irish and European dementia working groups, fighting for basic rights.
We are sent to nursing homes, many times against our own will, because there's no other place to send us. We're given psychotropic medicines. We're not given the opportunity to consent to those and be assisted in giving that consent.
The biggest change in research in the last 10 years has been the involvement of people with dementia. Their voices are supporting policies that influence change. The Irish government is reviewing support in the home.
We did do a research study with people who had very high levels of need, and we found that when this very kind of tailored care was offered and provided, that it was still cost effective for a long period of time. So it really is possible to support people to remain living well at home.
Importantly for Ireland, there's new legislation about to happen, which is to do with rights for home care. The challenge over the next number of years is to find the funding, find the resources in order to ensure that the rights that we're about to bestow can be realised in a real way for people with dementia.
A grassroots movement has seen businesses and volunteers putting the wheels in motion.
They all look at what can we do to actually make sure that a person can access my premises, but also that our staff members are aware of how we can support a person when they need that little bit of extra help.
Remaining part of society has given Helen purpose. 6 years after she was diagnosed, she was awarded an honorary doctorate from the National University of Ireland, Galway.
It was a moment of joy, not just for me, but for all of the people out there struggling. And I want people when they're diagnosed, in particular when they're diagnosed younger and with earlier to mid-stage, there's nothing to stop us from trying to carry on doing what we are doing if we have the supports.